Look, so as a man, as a woman, just as a human, you have to learn to control your emotions. It's so important, because if you don't control your emotions, they will just control you. So, like, for example, like in a situation where you're making a decision, something makes you angry, and then you try to make a choice while you're angry and all emotional, it's probably not going to be the best choice. You have to learn how to control the emotion, and then you can make better choices. So like practices you can do to get better at it. Just when you're emotional, you can watch yourself in that moment. This is the hardest part because you're like, it's kind of like you're in the game. You have to practice for the game. You can't like practice while you're in the game. You have to practice, but it's a good time to do it as well. While you're emotional, try to look at yourself every time you get overly emotional. Yeah, okay, what can I do better next time? Yeah, stuff like breathing exercises work. Eating good, I always talk about eating good. Eating good works as well, because it just lets you to have better control over stuff. But like, yeah, breathing exercises, doing lines. I do lines, so like, so for instance, I will try not to be emotional, I will try not to be angry, and I do them every day, one page, at least one page every single day. Yeah, and talking to yourself, just like talking in your mind. When you're calm, just say, okay, when situations happen, I'm not going to be emotional about these situations. This part is for men, like, especially when dealing with your woman, you have to try to, the emotions, you have to control that, because women are very emotional, as we all know. So you have to learn how to control it so you can be there for her and protect her. I'm still learning about this myself, but generally emotions are so important. Like, you control the emotions and just don't let them just go crazy. Even when it comes to spending, like, we can spend emotionally. Like, you feel sad, so let's do some retail shopping. Or you feel happy, oh, I'm gonna splurge and buy loads of stuff because I've just been paid a lot of money. But like, or you can eat emotionally. A lot of us eat emotionally. We feel sad, so we just eat a lot of food. Or we feel happy, so we eat a lot of food to celebrate. But all these things are emotions. So you can quickly see how, if you don't control the emotions, it will just control you and just take over your life. So yeah, so having control of your emotions is so important. Even look at this, like, when people play poker, they have to have a poker face. You can't be all emotional. Like, you get a good hand and you're like, oh my god, oh my god. Everyone's gonna know you got a good hand. So then they're not gonna put the money down, and then that hand doesn't mean nothing. You have to just be like, control their emotions, and they won't know what hand you got, and then you can lay your hand. So yeah, controlling your emotions. I think the only people that get like excluded from this is like children up to the age of probably like, I don't know, 12, 13. Like, after that, you have to kind of be trying to learn. Okay, I'll push it to like 15. But yeah, children, they get a pass, because they're young souls. They're still learning about themselves. So you can't expect them to understand how to control their emotions, especially when us adults don't. But yeah, like, things are just so much easier when you've got control over that. Like, even man to woman having a conversation when the emotions are high, it's just going to be crazy. It's better to calm down, express love to each other. Even if you can't do that at the moment, walk away, go to a different room, go to the gym, do whatever you do, and then come back. And then when the emotions are down, then you can talk about things. But because, as we all know, it's like, when you're trying to have a conversation, especially with your partner or your work colleague or anyone, and the emotions are high, ooh, it could end bad. So yeah, so just being in control, is the better. The more you can be in control, the better the situation probably will end up being. Just how it is. This is an example. Imagine if you saw a man or a woman on the streets jumping up and down, whoa, 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 randomly. You'd think, like, what's wrong with them? Why are they acting like that? You'd be like, everyone would be looking at them. You would think, what's wrong with them? Why they acting like that? Everyone will be looking at them. But if you found out that they won the lottery, you would understand. Oh yeah, they won the lottery. But no, it's you still have to be in control of your emotions, even in a situation, good situations, bad situations. You know, I think bad situations are harder, like death, when you lose someone, like in a relationship or whatever. But still, you have to be in control of your emotions, because if you're not in control of your emotions, you see how quickly it can just go bad. And I'm a big believer in humans and the the strength we have to be better and to be the best version of us, you know. So that's why I make these videos for people, you know. So even if it helps one person, I'm happy, you know. I just think that putting in the work in subjects of being a human, you can be better, you know. So yeah, thanks for watching the video and tune in for the next one. Bang.